Hi, I'm Alison.
And I'm Taylor.
And we're the hosts of the Anxiety Chicks podcast, where we dive deep into the reality of anxiety, nutrition, and mental health.
Listen as we explore all things anxiety healing while keeping it real, including our own struggles with mental health.
We'll bring our expertise as healing professionals to the conversation while discussing the tools and strategies you need to heal the anxious mind.
Listen to the Anxiety Chicks on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Anxiety Chicks podcast. I'm Alison Sefanera.
And I'm Taylor.
And we are back this week after our Q&A and wanted to say thank you so much for everyone who submitted your questions. We have monthly Q&A at the beginning of each month. So if you have a question for us you'd like to answer, get those questions in because our next Q&A episode will be in a couple weeks. So DM us, email us at theanxietychicks@gmail.com with any questions you have. And they were pretty good. But how are you today, Taylor?
I am not wanting to do a podcast today. Today has been, I'm still processing everything, but
Okay.
I think everybody who's listened to our podcast knows, probably starting in 2021, I got a positive ANA and I did nothing. Basically, that's an autoimmune, the first marker they do.
Okay.
And it came back positive, and I just didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. I don't know why. I just put it off. I was young. I felt like I don't want to open up this door. But I do. This is going to be a hard podcast because I feel like I wrote off a lot of my symptoms as anxiety, a lot of things I was feeling. And there was really something more going on. And I finally got to the right, I was supposed to go to a rheumatologist years ago. They referred me. I just didn't want to open up that door. And I think I was avoiding knowing anything because I didn't want to know and I didn't want to deal with it. And so I finally went and saw a rheumatologist and they ordered this. She was amazing. She's I heard finding a good rheumatologist is very hard. So I feel very blessed because she's so, so sweet. And I went and saw her 2 weeks ago and she said, I want to run this test on you. And today I went back for the follow-up and basically they told me I tested positive for Hashimoto's, which I kind of suspected that one, but I also tested positive for rheumatoid arthritis, and that was kind of a shock to me. Not a shock though, but it was a little overwhelming because I thought if anything it was going to be Hashimoto's, and okay, that's one thing to deal with, but I think them saying hey, you're struggling with 2 autoimmune diseases and you're showing lots of inflammation in your body, my blood markers. I think that's just something that's really hard for me to process right now, and what direction I'm going to take and what route I'm going to take, and also just processing that have I wrote myself off, and I don't want anybody who is really struggling with symptoms who feels maybe dismissed to write themselves off either, because there could be more, right? And I think the hardest part is I always tell people at some point you have to trust the doctors and accept if they say you're healthy. And I want people to know that my doctors were telling me to see a rheumatologist. It's not like I was getting told you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. I did have that marker that I never explored. So it's not like I was being medically gaslit. I was definitely just being told what to do, and I didn't take that path, and now I did, and now I have answers, which there's some relief. I think I was avoiding the answer of possibly having lupus. I think that freaked me out, and processing that scared me. And so I think that's honest truth to God. I think that's why I put off the full-on testing. And so, today was very scary going into that appointment. And while the answers are not exactly what I wanted, I feel proud of myself for going, doing it, getting the answers, and knowing I'm strong enough to handle whatever this treatment looks like. And I definitely have a lot of research and stuff to look into. So if you are also someone listening and you've been dealt the rheumatoid arthritis or Hashimoto's card, definitely DM me, and I will probably be talking a lot on it, because who knows, the more you look into Hashimoto's and autoimmune in general, it goes hand in hand with mental health. So I don't know. And I know a lot of people struggle with autoimmune, especially in today's day and age. So I'm going to try and do as much research as I can, but it's kind of weird how many people have it.
Yeah, I've heard of both of those. I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that's heard of Hashimoto's, maybe not. Can you explain both of those to listeners that might not understand it?
Yeah. So basically, there's this umbrella. This is how the doctor told me today. Autoimmune umbrella. And what autoimmune means is your immune system or your body is fighting certain. So each autoimmune disease is a certain part of your body, kind of like it affects a certain part of your body. But when the body is fighting these cells, it's attacking, kind of like a panic attack. It's You're panicked, but there actually isn't a danger. So with an autoimmune disease, with Hashimoto specifically, it's attacking my thyroid, even though there's not a danger in my thyroid and there's nothing to fight in my thyroid. So it's attacking healthy cells for no reason. It is just your body literally just attacking itself and almost like it's in danger. I don't really know, but so like there's one called Scrogen syndrome where it attacks your eyes and your mouth more. Rheumatoid arthritis is going to be your joints and it can be your lungs. Hashimoto's thyroid. Lupus is that's a really hard one that can just start really attacking all your organs, your major organs. So like I said, I walked away from that appointment and I was like, I feel blessed like that I don't have lupus. And gosh, prayers to anybody listening to this who does have lupus. And I like my journey with autoimmune is obviously like not as hard as someone going through lupus. I know everybody saw like Selena Gomez's journey with it and how it truly affected her mental health too. But yeah, the autoimmune disease is just your body attacking itself for no reason. Your mic's off.
Sorry. Hi. So what's like the next step for you? What do you do next?
Yeah, so I saw the rheumatologist who ran this test. In rheumatology, they focus more on the lupus, the rheumatoid arthritis, the Scrogen syndrome, a lot of weird names for these, but they focus on like that part. So an endocrinologist is someone who focuses more on the Hashimoto side. So basically, I need to find an endocrinologist doctor to handle that. And then the rheumatology, I'll be following up with her for the rheumatoid arthritis side of things. She gave me a couple options. I'm going to have to do research on my own just to see what route I want to take. Medication can be very helpful for a lot of these things so that the disease doesn't progress because autoimmune disease progresses. And there are research studies that if you like beat it a little early, it won't progress into farther stages because once it does progress to farther stages, it's almost impossible to reverse. So like with rheumatoid arthritis, if it attacks a joint, a lot of times you can't. Once it like has done damage to that joint, you can't reverse it. And so yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's 3 p.m. here and I had this appointment at 10. So I'm still just like kind of trying to figure out.
I'm actually just like looking up some stuff because I'm curious about it. And, it looks like the thyroid gland, I guess, produces hormones.
Yeah, so I tested positive for thyroid antibodies, which are just antibodies it's producing and basically the thyroid, your body attacking the thyroid.
Yeah, it's chronic inflammation of the thyroid.
Which can cause subclinical hypothyroidism. And if you read on hypothyroidism, the symptoms of it are anxiety, depression, fatigue. I mean, it's crazy. And your thyroid levels, your blood work can come back normal and you have subclinical hypothyroidism because your body's attacking the thyroid. I mean, it's all just like, it makes me wonder on everything. I'm like, gosh, is my anxiety correlated to this? Like, I don't know, but
yeah. It has to be. I mean, the mind and the body are so connected. It's crazy. It also says problems concentrating, hair loss, or changes in skin.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Lots of symptoms. And like I said, there's flares. You can have flares. You can have variations. There can be times in your life where the Hashimoto's isn't as bad And so it's crazy. Like, I know with Hashimoto's, all these things, you can't reverse them. Like, you can't get rid of them, but you can put them into remission.
Interesting. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. So, okay, I guarantee you every single person listening is probably like, oh my gosh, I have all those symptoms. What if I have
That's the hard
Hashimoto's?
part. Yeah.
Okay. So, what would you say? Where should somebody start if they're listening and thinking,
I
okay?
think that's the hardest part with autoimmune, because the funny thing is, well, okay, if you have symptoms and they're like pretty, uh, they're coming back ever so often, you feel like you have these flares and you can time it, and you have these specific symptoms, I would do a symptom log, and I would share that with your primary care doctor, because that's kind of like how I got my first ANA test. Is I was like, I have anxiety, but I have all these symptoms, and like, it's kind of like, I just want to know, like, if there's anything causing this. I remember saying that. And she goes, you know what? Let's run an ANA. And so she ran an ANA and a TPO. That was like, and that was included with like my physical year. Like, your yearly blood work is like basics, right? Like your TSH, your CBC. For women, they run like a basic thyroid panel. So I think if you have any inkling, I think the first thing you can say to your doctor is like, hey, I want a more complex thyroid blood test, and I want an ANA, and they'll add a TPO, obviously, in the advanced thyroid panel. But here's the issue. You can have some people, healthy individuals, can test positive for ANA and not have an autoimmune disease. You can literally test positive for it and there be no active autoimmune disease.
Okay.
So that's the hardest part, because a lot of people, they panic when they get the positive ANA. So then your next step is a rheumatologist who runs the test I did, and they basically tell you either test positive or don't. But that's the hardest part, because I think that there is some fear in between those. If you do test positive for the ANA and then you go to a rheumatologist, I think the waiting period in between that can be anxiety inducing. So that's hard. Like, the positive ANA, if you read on it, it's touchy. It's a very touchy lab test, because, like I said, it can be seen in healthy individuals and be nothing.
So, okay, so a rheumatologist is really the only person that's going to like give you a formal diagnosis.
So a specialty doctor. So I would say an endocrinologist, they handle the Hashimoto's and the endocrine side of things. So I think that depends on your insurance. Well, I don't think you could just go to a rheumatologist or an endocrinologist and say, hey, I think I have an autoimmune disease. I think you would probably first have to get the blood work through your PCP, I would think.
Yeah.
Because I don't think a rheumatologist would have taken me seriously if I just walked in with nothing.
Right.
Now, maybe they'll take your symptoms seriously if you find a good one. That's the key, is finding someone who's not going to brush you off. Because funny enough, 5 years ago, I did take why I didn't go to a rheumatologist 5 years ago is because I listened to my doctor, and I went to an endocrinologist. I didn't do my research, and she brushed me off so fast. She was like, you're young, you're healthy. And I remember our appointment was like 5 minutes. And I remember being like, I'm not about to go to a rheumatologist. And the same thing happened to me. Like, she didn't take me seriously. So, that's kind of funny. Like, my experience with that is it's partially why I didn't go see the rheumatologist too. Cause I'm like, why would I spend $150 to see a specialty doctor and them just see you for 2 minutes and be like, you're crazy. So, like, my rheumatologist, the first appointment I had with her, she spent an hour with me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing.
She's a really good doctor. And I did my research through like Facebook groups. Like, Google reviews are not it. You need to go on Facebook groups and see people's
100%.
experiences.
Literally, that's all I say. I'll talk about is the Facebook groups, like whatever county you live in, like go into those groups and ask the question. You can do it anonymously. It's funny because I'm like looking it up as we're talking about it. And there's a question that comes up when I type it into Google: what is Hashimoto's mistaken for? And okay, like lupus, you said, celiac disease.
Yeah.
and depression and chronic fatigue syndrome and menopause.
Yeah, because it can
All
make
similar
you feel
symptoms.
all those symptoms. I mean, you can even IBS, because you can have constipation and diarrhea.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, your thyroid for women, especially for women, it affects a lot with your mood, hormones, health.
Well,
having your thyroid out of whack is just not good.
Well, I was just going to say, for anyone listening over, of a certain age like me, I would say even like late 30s, I would start looking into this, because now thinking about this and going through like perimenopause, I'm going to ask my doctor. I'm going to ask my OBGYN actually, because she's like the doctor that I ask about every single thing, because she's the best doctor I have at this point. And I wonder, like so many of those
Have you not?
symptoms,
They never
I
pulled
wonder
a
if it
ANA on you?
changes. I don't know. I have to actually look back now that I think about it, because I was saying, like, a lot of like the type of testing, because you're a dietitian, like a dietitian. Sorry, I don't know the exact credentials, but a lot about those specific names of those things better. I don't. And so there is a chance that they might have. I have to look though, because I get my yearly blood.
Did they?
I get my yearly blood.
It went. I don't think it'd be in the yearly, but did they ever say, "Hey, like when you expressed your symptoms, did they ever say we're going to try and pull like an autoimmune panel?" Do you ever remember anyone saying autoimmune?
Like she might have, honestly. I honestly probably I
It's
don't
it's worth
remember
asking.
specifically. But I'm going to ask, because I had my yearly in June, and she wants me to get another blood panel actually, and I haven't done it yet. So maybe I'll call the office.
Just add it on.
And actually like ask about
that.
that.
Honestly, anybody listening, just there's no harm. Now, the harm could be you get a positive ANA and you have to explore that route of seeing a rheumatologist, and it could be nothing. But also it could explain a lot of the things you're dealing with. If you have symptoms that just like really bother you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the other thing is, you guys have to remember, like, you can take preventative care and feel okay, like feel good. That talks about like one type of medication. I forgot what it said, but this isn't like a terminal illness right this second. So I just don't want anyone to think that like, they're gonna this is terminal or something. This is and most autoimmune diseases, they are gradual, they're slower, but they also feel
Not
like
always.
so many other things. Well, which ones aren't?
Like rheumatoid arthritis, like this one girl, my doctor was telling me today, she was fine. She felt fine. She didn't take the medication. And then 2 months later, it progressed very fast.
Okay. Yeah. I thought I meant more of someone who's treating it. Like it's treatable.
Okay. Yeah.
And someone who's like following.
If you treat it, I think you can
protocol. Yeah. But yeah, don't, especially with arthritis. I think that's probably the most debilitating that it could become if you don't do anything about it. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, you guys, but all I know is all of these things.
You can actually
don't let this scare you. Yeah, don't let this like scare you, but don't just sit on it, right? It sounds like that's something that you were scared of for a long time. Like any kind of reason why people avoid seeing doctors. Yeah, no, I think that like being so there's so many times where we avoid going to get certain exams done or certain tests done, or avoid going to the doctor or whatever it might be. And the fact of the matter is, there is a risk all the time, and just making sure you just take the risk and go and that could save your life, right? Wouldn't you rather know and be able to kind of treat yourself and help yourself and somehow feel better and be healthier than not? That's kind of like my perspective.
Yeah, I think for me also, like when I left today, I was like, I don't have to live in suffering. Like I don't have to keep doing that to myself, realizing that I think a lot of times I put off some symptoms I was feeling as anxiety, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe it is the autoimmune. And I don't have to feel that way, and maybe some of it is anxiety or a symptom of anxiety, but also anxiety is really bad for autoimmune diseases. So just getting your stress under control, and I'm doing all the things I can regarding like nervous system health, right? So there's a time and place for this type of Western medicine to really take a look at it and know that you don't have to feel this way forever. So I'll do my research and figure things out. But yeah, today has been, and like first day of period today, and I have a sore throat. I'm like, this is just Wednesday, October 8th needs to end.
This has been me the last like week, totally. And I got my period a week early because this is my life now. And this is what happens in your 40s. You get it like so erratically. And I was like, what? Why? Oh my gosh, I got it. And then like I've been having kind of a little cold. I took a like flu and COVID test today just because. Nothing. It's nothing. I think it's honestly.
You've been sick for like a week too.
No, I think it's stress. I haven't been sleeping great. I like lost my voice on Saturday because I went out with a friend.
I saw your stories. Screaming. I'm like, how did you lose your voice at dinner?
It was crazy. I mean, the place we were was so loud and we were talking so much. We hadn't seen each other.
Overstimulation city.
Oh yeah. And I was screaming as I was talking because I was telling her story and it was so loud for 2 hours straight. And I was like, oh my God, I've never So yeah, can it just be done? I mean, I just feel like, and I also will say I am still, pretty much waiting for these results that I got my, did I talk about this yet?
No, I saw it on your stories, but you told the people that you, last update you did, you said you need an MRI and I saw you finally went.
Okay. So it wasn't actually an MRI, but I'm going to do an episode about it. So I don't want to go too far into it, but it wasn't an MRI. And I didn't realize that until I was going to the exam like a couple days before. It was nothing invasive. The reason why I wanted to go to this type of exam was because I read a lot about how non-invasive it was, and it gets really good images similar to an MRI. But it's very controversial. So I'm going to talk about it in like a separate episode. But yes, so I did get that done. So I'm like waiting on results for that. And like, it's just an update though of, what I had done in June, right? Like that whole thing that I had done and that I kind of like talked about and how scary it was. And I just feel like I want it to be over. But this is what happens.
How long have you been waiting for results now? Over a week. Over 2 weeks.
Well, no, they said it was 5 to 10 business days. And it's been like 5.
So you're just constantly waiting for a call.
Yeah, like something. So you can get in touch with them. So I like emailed them and stuff and whatever. So, it's been 4 months. They suggested I follow up in 6 months. So I did it before. So, who knows how much things can change then, but you just never know. You just never know. So
yeah,
all of it at once, like all of what you're going through, all of the stuff that I'm going through, like a lot of stuff at once, it is not good for your immune system. It's not. Mm-mm. And honestly, anxiety is kind of like an autoimmune disorder. Sorry. I mean, maybe it's not clinically said that, but it seriously is. Like it eats away at your body and your brain.
It's a chronic illness, in my opinion. Yeah.
100%. It's like a chronic illness. And so is depression. And so, the way that we are so like on an island by ourselves these days in healthcare is also doesn't help anything. Like we're all just literally on an island. And that's why those Facebook groups is better than anything else, because we don't trust anyone in healthcare anymore until we actually know that there's other people that trust them first. And then we trust them.
Well, you know when you're being listened to and you know when someone's not listening to you. And I think that's the hardest part when you schedule something and you go and somebody, you can just tell they're already dismissing you when you walk in the door. And so when you find someone, shout it from the rooftops. Like when I left my appointment, I made sure to go into that Facebook group and say good news about her, because I want somebody else to be able to find her. Like I want her name to be shouted. And I told her, I said, you're a very good doctor. I said, you care for your patients. I feel that. And like patients feel that. And I love what you said about being alone on an island, because it's like some doctors, they just like give you this information and they're like, hey, go home. And you're just like,
totally. And none of them talk to each other. So like you could see like 6 specialists and like no one knows about any of the other exams you've had. It's like up to you to show them and tell them like what your results are. It's so
you're so right. Like you
disjointed.
have to be crazy about keeping all your stuff together, and then you feel crazy bringing them all this stuff, and then you're repeating yourself all the time, and you're just like, this is a part-time job of its own.
100%. But big hospitals now are buying all family practices, right? There's like no family practice anymore. It's all big hospitals. They're doing that on purpose because they want you to just use their hospital for everything.
Yeah.
They want you to go, like University of Penn is, and nothing against them at all for anyone that goes. They have amazing, amazing doctors and amazing programs. But I have not had the best experience with some of them. I still go for some of them. The other ones I don't, because it would be so easy if just every specialist I saw was at Penn that were amazing and I loved, because they have one portal. And they could just log on and they're like, oh, this happened too. Yeah, that's amazing. That's wonderful. But too bad I saw a couple doctors in this specialty and did not like any of them. They did not listen to me. They were horrible. And now I have this doctor. So it's up to me.
I feel you on that. I don't even, when you go to a doctor and they give you a referral, I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm not even taking that referral. I'm doing my own research, because your referral is probably paid for. Y'all have some system in between y'all, and it's whoever you refer them to, you get something for referring. Like that's how I got the endocrinologist. I had 100%. To do my own research to find the rheumatologist. They wanted to send me to someone else. I did research on that other person and they were like, this person completely dismissed me. I'm like, I am not going there.
Yep. Well, also, that's why my health insurance that I pay for as a self-employed person, the amount of money I spend on health insurance
is expensive.
But it's for a reason. Like I was talking about this the other day on my Instagram about how, a lot of people save money for like to buy this, or they save money for this, or they have kids. I don't have kids, so of course I'd save money, but literally a lot of the money in my savings is going like for preventative healthcare for myself. So I literally spend however much my deductible is. Like it's not even that much. I spend more monthly so I don't have to have a referral. So I have like a PPO.
Me too. It's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
It is the best thing, because you get to pick your referral.
Yes.
And you don't have to be approved. You can literally bypass anybody.
Yes.
And I don't think a lot of people know that, Allison.
I know.
Like people have PPOs and they don't know that they have that ability. So anybody who's listening, if you go check your insurance, because this was actually news to me a year ago, that if you have a PPO, you can call up a rheumatologist. Your primary care doctor does not have to give you anybody. You can call up a neurologist, a endocrinologist, a rheumatologist, and you can get an appointment because you have a PPO. You pay for that.
Yes, and I will say one of the actual maybe like silver lining of no one talking to each other, you can actually search out different doctors and see which one you like. Mm-hmm. Like I went to 3 different dermatologists this year, and that cost money because dermatology isn't even considered. It's considered like aesthetic. So it wasn't even covered, half of it, because whatever. Yeah. But I finally found the third dermatologist I went to. I love. She's amazing. And I'm like, she's my girl. And she's with a totally different network.
With the other 2, what did you feel? Just immediately like they were...
It is just so crazy. They didn't even see half of the things on my body that this woman saw. And that this woman wanted to like biopsy.
Were they just everything. Like skimming through your body? Like I've had that. I've gone for a skin exam and I'm like, dude, you didn't even look. I know you didn't just look. Like they go, yep, you're good. I'm like, and you barely looked at me.
Yeah. And also they didn't, I even remember the one I went to before I had like certain questions and they like didn't know. The doctor was like, I don't know. I'll have to get back to you. I'm like, huh?
You're like, whoa.
How do you not know?
God.
So yeah. And it's funny because the one that I went to initially, people like gave me so much. Everyone's like, oh my God, this place is amazing. This place is amazing. Not on Facebook, but like other people.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Are they maybe getting
okay.
cosmetic procedures?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So their med spa is good.
So they're like, that's a med spa. And I'm like, okay, duh, why am I, okay. Not that it wouldn't be great, but I wanted to go to like an act. So now I found like the place that I go to now actually is through like a different network that's actually not a more well-renowned type of network in the Philly area. And she's the best. This woman's the best. I'm like, oh my God, love you. Thank you. She's so sweet. She's so nice. She listens. She asks questions. So it really just, it doesn't matter who's renowned, like what practice is amazing, what Facebook groups, if someone tells you
an individual doctor's name and they rave it, like listen to the people speaking too, like you know when it's genuine, when they're like, this doctor listened to me, this doctor took time with me, she was caring. Those are the things I look for, not like just had a good experience. It's like, this doctor cared, this doctor listened.
Yes. Or he, you know, I've just been seeing a lot of female doctors lately.
I think I've gone to men in the past. I think I'm just way more comfortable seeing a woman. I'm more authentic. I don't know what it is, but I found that for myself, because I used to see a skin doctor, a guy, and I don't know if he was awkward, but he was the one who just like skimmed through. And then I was talking to my friend, and I don't know if yours does this too, but you know, you're going to a good dermatologist. Okay, y'all are going to laugh when they literally spread your butt cheeks and they check your butthole.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Totally. I'm serious. I didn't know that was a thing until my friend told me. Like, she was like, girl, she had me rolling all over the table. I said, wait, what? I said, my doctor's never done that. But like, it makes sense. You can definitely have some skin cancer around there.
No, 100%. And they check your scalp.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, well, I'm so glad that you've figured something out, because I think some of the worst moments are when they just can't figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it can be even harder when people just keep saying, no, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. And then if you struggle with anxiety, you're just like, okay, well, something's wrong. Now let me just make something up in my head. Like, what do I do now? You know what I mean? And that can just feel so like helpless, you know, like
I also think just the hardest part is like anxiety, right? Like anxiety can produce so many physical symptoms. It really can. And I think when you struggle with something chronic, a chronic type of illness, and you have anxiety, it's really hard to know what's flaring, what's not. Is this anxiety? And so that's tough, you know, but how cool would it be if I get some of this stuff under control and like, maybe some of my symptoms are anxiety, right? But maybe some things I didn't have to struggle with so bad. And I was maybe gaslighting myself. I don't know. So it'll be an interesting journey. I'm sure I'll be talking a lot on it. And I remember back in the day when I tested positive for ANA in general, we had a Hashimoto's lady on. Maybe we have someone else on now that I know more, and just because it is so correlated to mental health. So I think that would be cool to get maybe a specialist on, but we need some updates on you too. We have 20 more minutes. So give us what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh, honestly, it has been just like I was saying before. It's just, I mean, I can give you a little bit with dating, but it's exhausting. Like,
what about health? Start with health. Are you just dealing with the dense breast?
That, and then, you know, I'm going to have to get my colonoscopy this year. Now I've had two in my life already. One. Yes. And I've had endoscopies too. So I've not, I think if I never had it, I might be like, what? No, I've had them before and it's fine.
When was your last one?
I think like 5 years ago or something.
Okay.
Like it's been a while. Yeah. But you're supposed to get your first one at 45. So, yeah, that is just like about scheduling it. I've reached out
and
they've
it's
called me
like
back
2
like 3
days,
times.
right?
Well, no,
Like
it's
prep
it's out
and
it's outpatient. Well, yeah, but you just prep the night before, and it's not.
so
I
how is
mean,
the prep with your IBS?
okay, so the 2 times I've done the prep, I think people's prep is different, I've heard, but
Okay.
I've always done like Gatorade and I mix it with Miralax. That's what they give me. To put this much Miralax in and then this much, and you have to finish this and this. And by the end, you're like, hate Gatorade. But it honestly, it wasn't bad because I think I have IBS-D. So I was like pooping all the time anyway.
Okay.
So it actually felt
Is that
good.
why they did the colonoscopy?
Yes.
Okay.
I had a lot of stomach issues. I mean, it was all anxiety related.
And they found nothing.
I know. Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh, right. So you do the Miralax and then you end up, like you are flushing yourself out, right? But you're not like running to the back. I mean, at least I wasn't being like waking up in the middle of the night being like, oh my God, I gotta go. Maybe like once or twice. And then you end up like, getting it. You're also not eating anything. Well, that's what I would say. You are allowed to have like Jello
Like lethargic.
and
By the
yeah.
end, are you? Yeah.
But like they want
Like
you
you
to
probably
have
can't do anything that day, right?
No. So it is one
Yeah.
day you're going to want to take off because you can't actually drive home yourself. You're still kind of sedated. So you will have someone that needs to drive you back home.
Oh, they do sedate you. Okay.
Yeah. And at least that's my experience. I don't know if that's
like
been different for anyone.
with anesthesia, or you take like a pill?
I mean, I was put to sleep. Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow. Okay.
But so yeah, so then I don't know. It kind of felt like I was just going at one point you're not going every 2 seconds, but you're going and then you go again like a half hour later and then you do feel like very light, like you're not really eating much and you're kind of letting
It's a little
things
cleanse
out. And it does honestly feel a little cleansing. But you can like have Jello. You can have some clear things, I guess. But yeah, you can't drink or eat anything after midnight, right? That's just if you have like anesthesia. I think you're not allowed to do that anyway.
Yeah.
And then so I would recommend get it done like early in the morning. It's like usually you wake up at like 8, go like first thing in the morning. Then you're not like waiting around throughout the day. But yeah, I don't think it's changed. I don't know, but I do like the place I go to now. But yeah, I have to get my colonoscopy done. And then it's just as you get older, you just have all these doctor's appointments, right? I have to get my blood work done. It literally
feels like a part-time job.
Yeah, I need blood work done for like my update for my hormones and like my other doctor. And, it's just like, let's just be at peace, right? In this moment. And so I literally one step at a time. I had a couple dates and they were okay. I'll talk more about that later because I'm like exhausted from it all. But also follow me at the Anxiety Healer. You'll see everything. And
I feel like you're going a lot. You're like going.
Yes, that's probably why
you exhaust me.
Listen, the last couple months has been exhausting and I realize that this is my body telling me to slow down. So
yeah,
I am. And I'm talking about it at the same time. But yeah, that's really it. I mean, when my results come back and stuff, we can do like a bigger update episode.
Yeah. But overall, you feel good?
I mean, right now I'm exhausted because last night I had a weird sleeping pattern, but I've been sleeping pretty well actually. For the most part.
I was going to ask you, did they diagnose? Are you in perimenopause?
Apparently, as when you turn a certain age, like all women are, or something.
Okay.
I don't know, but I definitely am because my periods have become more erratic and irregular, and I think that's how they monitor it.
Yeah.
But I know that menopause is 1 full year without your period.
Right.
So that definitely is not happening.
Are you going to get on hormones?
I don't know. I mean, I'm already taking a medication called spirulactin.
Yeah.
Women of a certain age will all know what that is because I think she gave that to me because my hormone levels, I did have them tested like a couple months ago or like last year or whatever. And that really actually has been really helping my skin and helping like regulate my moods. She thinks that she really wants me to go up in milligrams, but I don't know. I'm kind of nervous too. So
I know a lot of people who take that. I think I know people who take it for acne. The one thing I've heard, do you feel more lightheaded on it or dehydrated?
I mean, I drink so much water all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would be something I'd be like noticing.
And maybe your milligrams low.
Not really. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I tried. Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, no, but for sleeping, I was sent this product that honestly has been like life-changing for me for the most part. Now, last night, I think this is why I didn't sleep well because I'm out of them and I wrote them and I said, listen, I want to collaborate with you. These have been working, called the Restore Patch. So have you heard of it?
Wow. Is it a patch you put on?
Okay, so Restore Patch, please sponsor the Anxiety Chicks. But basically, yeah. So, and use my code Alison 15 for 15% off if you want. But it's this little sticker. Okay? And I mean, I could go get one. Let me go get it. I'll go get one.
They have one for anxiety. Wait, Alison.
Okay. So, if you're listening.
Oh my gosh, look, they reached out to collab.
Oh, yay. Well, so
they have one for anxiety.
Exactly. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or something, go and watch us on YouTube because you'll be able to see it. So it's this thing. It's literally, you can't even feel it. So the patch looks like this. So it's like a little Band-Aid, but like it's sticky. And you put it on your wrist like this. And then you put this like this, and you go like this basically.
Okay.
And then like it stays. I have to do it tighter, and then it basically, you sleep with that.
Oh my gosh.
You sleep with it. And then I can't even feel it when I sleep with it. So yeah, so it's like tight. So the thing is underneath there, the patch. And I just sleep with that. I'm not even kidding. I got 3 nights of full sleep in a row when they sent it to me. And so each patch basically is good for like 3 nights. But I just finished all of them. So I've been using the same patch. I'm like, oh man, it's like not working as well. I'm like, send me more
patches. I'll have to look into that.
Send me more patches.
Have you tried the anxiety one?
No, but I do have that. I have the anxiety one. I haven't tried that one yet. And then they sent me a PTSD one too. They have a PTSD one too.
I know. I see migraine, immunity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can get wow. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Well, use code Alison15, you guys, and try it because I posted on my stories and so many people were like, oh my gosh, I want to try it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm talking to them, so I'm hoping that I can find out a lot more about them and what is really the science behind it. And here's the thing. Right here, there's so many. I'm not a doctor, but there's so many different like nerve endings for helping with like nausea, right, and stuff like that. And I guess there's a lot of nerves there. So I've been sleeping better thanks to Restore Patch. Just did a whole ad for you. Not sponsored, but you should sponsor us, Restore Patch. And we can put the link in the or DM me if you want the link at the Anxiety Healer. Just DM me. So other than that, all those things, it's all work in progress. It's all about figuring it out.
Yeah. Life is a process, and we will be okay. We just have to take things one step at a time. That's what I had to tell myself today. Hey, today is a harder day. I got a diagnosis. I started my period. I'm not sure how to help you with that. I just set off my Alexa.
I was going to say, did you hear that? I just heard her.
And she's mad at me, I guess. She's probably interrupting me for talking negative. So I'm going to talk positive. I'm grateful for the results today. I'm grateful, and I was grateful when I was sitting in the lobby and I saw a man who he clearly has a very progressed disease of some sort, and he could barely walk. And in that moment, I expressed gratitude within for the health I do have, because today I can walk. Today I can use every limb of my body. Today I'm not in pain. Today I feel, not the best, but I'm alive, right? And I can use today. I'm grateful for the job I have where I texted Alison. I said, hey, I just want to do an update episode today. Let's start a little late, and I need to take care and time for myself. And so I'm very blessed in that. And I know that there's millions of things to be blessed for that I do have. And so a little hiccup is okay.
I love that perspective. And that's the same thing. I posted something today about anxiety as we age and the thoughts that come with that. And, the truth is aging is a privilege. And I've been saying that a lot lately. So I think I'm on the same lines as that, as, just reminding myself that it's a privilege to wake up and to be here as much as we can on this earth, and just keep that in mind for sure. But thanks for updating us, Tay.
One day at a time, Alison.
One day at a time. All right, you guys, we will see you next week. Love y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today.
We hope this episode reminded you that you're not alone and healing is always possible.
If something we shared helped you, the best way to support the show is to leave a review or share this episode with a friend who needs it.
And make sure you're following us on Instagram at The Anxiety Chicks for more support between episodes.
We're just two chicks on our own healing journeys, cheering you on every step of the way.
Until next time.
Take a deep breath. You've got this.